Hey guys, it's kawaiisweetworld, and today we're making these Maleficent cookies inspired by the new Disney movie coming out on May 30th, so let's get started. First, for the cookie dough, you'll need 1.5 cups of flour, along with 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and just a pinch of salt. Then just whisk everything together. Now in a separate bowl, go ahead and add in 1/2 cup or 1 stick of butter. Then just cream this until it's nice and light and fluffy. Then add in 3/4 cup of white sugar. And then cream this in. Again, you're looking for a nice light and fluffy texture. Now I'm going to crack in 1 egg. And then just mix this in. Then we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And of course, just mix this together. And I like to add in my green gel food coloring at this point. This way you won't have to knead it into the cookie dough later, and it's much easier. And you can see I got a nice green color. Keep in mind that it's going to fade just a little bit after we add in the flour. So go ahead and add in your dry ingredients and then mix them in. And you can see that our cookie dough is pretty soft at this point, so I'm just going to wrap it in some plastic wrap and then stick it in the freezer for about 25 minutes. Once it's out of the freezer, I'm just going to take it out onto a floured work surface, and then you can just go ahead and roll this out. And I like thicker sugar cookies, so I'm making my dough about 1/4 inch thick. Then I'm going to take a bunny-shaped cookie cutter and just go ahead and cut out some cookies. We're using the bunny as a base because I thought we could easily trim the ears to look like Maleficent's horns. So to shape these cookies like Maleficent's horns, I'm just going to cut a slit in the top of the ear, and then make a wide curve coming down from the slit. The shape is kind of hard to explain, but hopefully you can get an idea of it here. Now I'm going to repeat this for the other side of the ear, and I like to score out the shape before I actually cut it. Then I'm just going to deepen the V, and this will make it look more like her horns. And of course just cut it out. And that is our nice Maleficent shaped head. So now I like to use this cookie as a stencil for all my other ones. So you can see I'm just going to lay it on top and then just cut around it. And this should give you nice uniform cookies. Now to make sure these keep their shape while they bake, I'm just going to pop this in the fridge for about 15 minutes. Then we're going to bake it at 350 for about 9 minutes. In the meantime, our royal icing is just 1 cup of powdered sugar sifted, 2 tablespoons of milk, and 2 teaspoons of corn syrup. Then just mix everything together. Now I'm going to add in a lot of black gel food coloring, and then just go ahead and mix this in. Since black is such a hard color to dye, you'll have to add in a lot of food coloring. Now since this icing was a little bit thin, I'm just going to sift in about another cup of powdered sugar, and you can see this consistency is much nicer. Now I'm just going to pour this into a piping bag, but a Ziploc bag would work fine as well. And now we can start to ice our cookies. First I'm going to mark out an M shape for her horns. Then I'm going to take the black icing and then just outline where the horns are. And now for what I think is the fun part, just fill it all in with your icing. Then with your cookie scribe or a toothpick, just go ahead and smooth out your icing. And then here's what your cookies should look like when you're finished. I love how nice and shiny it is. The next step is to outline our cookies, so to make the icing a little bit thicker, I added in another cup of powdered sugar. And then you can just go ahead and outline your cookie. Then let this set for about 2 hours. After 2 hours, we're going to start adding the lines to Maleficent's horns. And just angle these all towards the center. And now we're going to sprinkle on some sanding sugar. I have some black sanding sugar here, and you really want to get this completely covered. And this is why we had to let the icing dry for so long so that we could just tap off the excess. And I'm even going to use my finger to help gently brush it off. And you can see just how pretty this is. I love how this adds a nice sparkly touch. These Maleficent cookies are very easy to make, especially if you've just started with cookie decorating. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out these other Maleficent sweets from other tastemakers as well, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone!